Crisis this morning with senior Gold Coast officers to hold an urgent meeting today. It comes as angry frontline staff threaten to walk off the job in revolt.
The fury stems from an officer being stood down earlier this month over claims he authorised a police vehicle to ram into a stolen car driven by an armed offender. Now there are growing calls for Commissioner Katarina Carroll to stand down, with one officer reportedly saying not a single one of us feels safe to do our job anymore. Joining us for more is former Queensland Police Detective and criminologist Terry Goldsworthy. Good morning to you, Terry. Well, what do you expect to come out of today's crisis meeting amongst the senior Gold Coast officers?
Well, look, I think this morning the meeting down the Gold Coast is just going to try and see what the issues are bubbling under the surface down here and get the police back focused on what they should be doing, which is policing. The issue that we have down here is there's a discipline matter that's arisen out of pursuit. The pursuit policy in Queensland is quite restrictive, and the offenders know that, and they've known that for some years, and they take advantage of it. And what you see happen is, police are getting investigated for attempting to stop these crimes from going on and endangering the public. But I think what's happening down here is just a wider expression of dissatisfaction within the service statewide.
Yeah, of course, this comes as this new poll reveals the extent of the crime crisis in Queensland. 66% of Queenslanders say the former and current state governments are too soft on youth crime offenders, while almost 70% say they don't feel safe in their community or at home. Are these numbers surprising to you?
No, they're not surprising at all. I mean, when you've got a 20-year high crime rate, you'd expect people to be scared of crime. So this is one of those occasions where perceptions of crime actually match what's happening out on the street. And that's, problematic for the Commissioner, because she has these issues on the outside of the service in terms of a very high crime rate. There's some other issues that have come up as well, like the DV cultural inquiry, which was critical of her leadership. And she has the internal movements that seem to be quite dissatisfied. So I think it's a question of not will the Commissioner resign, but when will she resign?
So officers not wanting to go to work, that's really interesting, isn't it? Because the Courier Mail reported last week that some are calling in sick because they don't want to have to face what they're facing at the moment. Does the buck stop at the Commissioner's desk, Katarina Carroll?
Yeah, certainly the responsibility does stop with the Commissioner, but also the Minister. I mean, under our Westminster system, ministerial responsibility means that the Minister should be held responsible. The problem we have in Queensland is that a new Premier came in 6 weeks ago, and he reappointed the Police Minister and the Youth Justice Minister. So he's not going to move those people now, having reappointed them. So that leaves one person, really, that he can move to get some fresh air on crime in Queensland, and that would be the Commissioner. So she's due to be reappointed or new contract in July this year. I don't think that will occur. I think you'll either see her volunteer to move very shortly, or she'll be pushed by the government, because they simply cannot get any traction on crime in Queensland.
Yeah, really interested to see what comes out of those crisis meetings today on the Gold Coast. Terry, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, huge problem, isn't it?